Welcome back to the Blocks Retro Repair YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on this. This is a early mid-50s to early 60s Kenny's double-up flasher slot. Let's see if we can get this thing working. We restored one of these not too long ago, so hopefully we can do it again. This is not what I was planning on doing this week, but I'm sick. I don't have the brain power to work on that stupid New City Bingo machine. What's more simple than an electromechanical machine? You may have noticed this down here. This is a block of wood that would have been used to cover up the original coin return. As you can see now, it's just the coin return for the coin mech, but this is where the hopper would have been for when you actually won. It would have dispensed the coins. But when this was converted from an actual slot machine to an amusement-only machine, they got rid of that and put that block of wood in place. If you didn't watch the previous video on restoring a different one of these things were effectively made to bypass certain gambling laws. See these right here? These are flasher units. Instead of having reels, which we got very end, they added these. These are flasher units that display those fruits. And that's simply how you know if you've won or not. Basically, without the reels, it wasn't classified as a slot machine. Somehow. If we take a look here on the inside, you can see our coin mech, which is an interesting coin mech. That's like the ones they use in jukebox. It has ones for quarters, nickels, and I guess the $half diverter up there. Not sure if that's actually hooked up, but I think this is only set up to only take quarters. Looking down here, here's where our custom stuff was installed to replace the actual coin hopper. Would have sat on these two pieces of wood here. As you can see, they've added some custom stuff, cut some wires. I guess those are actually there, but these wires are cut. And they added this block of wood with the aftermarket coin return slot. As you can see down here, we have our fuses, our transformer, that thing. It has little numbers on it. It's like a timer here in our coin box. Not sure what that is. We have this here, which is, you know, the hopper switch. We are missing, looks like one of these bumps here on the other side. That shouldn't be a big deal. We should be able to replace that if we have one. Up here we have a pinout for our flash units, and obviously our flash units here on our door. We look, well, we're missing something here. Hopefully that's for the hopper stuff that we're missing. Other than that, we look to be complete, so let's continue. Plugging in, we are greeted with some stuff running. Our Veritor is running, which is good because there's credits in it, so it should be running. Though, not convinced the other stuff should be running. We have a relay clicking somewhere. And these motors here are running. I'm not convinced they should be running. Let's see if we can play. Actually, I mean, we have credits. The Veritor's running. Let's see what happens. Well, that is a whole lot of nothing. Let's see what relays we have on. Besides that adjustment, we have the game relay on, a anti-hold relay on, and I mean, an anti-start relay. What is the point of an anti-start relay? Why is that on? Okay. And then the relay right above it's also on. I'm not sure what that says. Looks like that says maybe sequence run probably. And we have our anti-start. What is powering our anti-start? Good Lord, who knows? That just goes into this massive bundle of wire. Is it powered by this by chance? Yeah, okay. So what's holding our frequency or sequence run on? Could be just about anything. It could be a stuck relay, a contact out of adjustment, one of these things out of time. I gotta go poke around some stuff with a plastic stick, I guess. Figured it out. This bastard's out of time. If we just slide that over a little bit, it stops. Okay, so there's two ways we can go about this. We could try and reclock this, but I think, yeah, we're not gonna be able to. The out of alignment is due to wear. There's a lot of side-to-side movement in that. Ultimately, there probably is bushings in this metal housing we could try and replace, but for right now, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a bend, and that'll fix our timing issue for now. We might have other timing issues later on, but this will let us test further. Went ahead and added a credit. Our Veritor is running, so let's see if we can play. And works beautifully. Well, I guess it's time to do some maintenance on this thing. We'll do some lubrication to some stuff, and I grabbed a fiberglass pen so we can clean up a few contacts. Let's get started. Basically, I'm gonna oil everything here that moves. Now, this is where everyone always asks me, what oil do you use? And the problem is, I don't know what oil to use. Recently, for the last few machines, I've been using this sewing machine oil because I bought it for a sewing machine, so I had it. But I don't really know if that's what I should use. In my opinion, it's a really nice thin oil that they use on sewing machines to keep those things that have to be very much in time nicely lubricated, so I imagine it works, and so far I've had great luck with it, but I haven't had any long-term testing with it, so I don't know if that's the case. Everyone you talk to will tell you a different oil. There'll be people that say, oh, just use 3-in-1 oil, and there'll be the people that swear by never use 3-in-1 oil. So it's kind of hard, because I don't know. This is just what I'm going to use today. The nice thing about it being on a little dropper, you can just nicely get it in wherever you need it on all of these movement points. Just like this. Super easy, super effective. And we can put some on these gears, I guess. Another thing I don't really know if I should recommend, but I like to oil the, put a little drop of oil on the shaft of these solenoids, just to help them move a little bit freer. Technically, there's a plastic bushing effectively that they should be able to glide on, but I think it's a little gummed up over time. And unless you want to take apart and fully disassemble everything, replace all of those plastic bushings, a little bit of oil goes a long way. On a machine like this that effectively has no value because nobody buys these things, there's no real point of spending, 30 hours completely disassembling every single thing and rebuilding it. This thing, once again, has effectively no value because nobody buys these things. I see them go at auction all the time, super cheap. The one thing you probably shouldn't oil is these clutches right here. That would probably cause some problems. Go ahead and put a drop of oil on the solenoid, and then just actuate it a few times, and it should be nice and free. And I guarantee by me showing the fact that this is the oil I'm using, I'm gonna have people commenting, oh, you should never use that. And they might be right. I don't know. I'll definitely have people commenting, oh, you should put lithium grease on these things. They did not have grease, ever. Look at them. They're perfectly clean. They've never had grease. They're just probably originally were oil-free gearboxes, but a little bit of oil helps them 50, 60, 70 years later. Also, CoinMax are supposed to be oil-free, but yeah, just a little bit of oil on these posts also helps them quite a good bit. And we're just gonna take this fiberglass pen to these contacts here just to polish them up. These are well, some of these are what does the flashing, and I noticed it go blank a few times, so I think some of our contacts are a little dirty, so that's what this bad boy's for. It's just effectively a bunch of little fiberglass fibers that are slightly abrasive to clean the dirt off of the copper, but not like actually damage the copper or the board underneath. Now, what we did on the last one was take a bit of sandpaper to every contact. Since this one's actually just fully working, I haven't found anything that's not working, I don't feel like I'm gonna do that right now. I got too much of a cold to care about that. Interestingly, I think we have a different problem now. There's some fluttering happening in the back cabinet that should not be happening. Yeah, something's fluttering that should not be fluttering. What is happening? That one seemed to work perfectly. I see what I messed up. I cleaned that stuff with a fiberglass pen, then forgot to wipe the fiberglass fibers off. Now, how's it work? This one's still a little bit dim, but hey, we won, that's nice. But it's a lot more solid now. So let's see which wheel this one is, and then I think I know what we need to do to it. Man, twice the gambling in one machine, how nice. Always lose. Every time. I undid the wing nuts that hold this in place. We can flip this over so we can see this and back here at the same time. However, I did notice this hilariousness here for this coin reject thing. That I feel like is aftermarket. But I don't know why it would be. They needed something there. Ultimately, when it's sitting against this, it doesn't need anything. But whenever you do exactly what I just did and flip it over, it's gonna fall out. So that's where that comes in. That is hilarious. And the problem is I don't know which one's technically left and which one's right. I don't know which way they're looking at it from. I could probably guess that this is the left one, which is what we're gonna verify by just pushing this little leg in right here. And yep, it went, yeah, it goes out whenever I press it in. Keep missing it. There we go. So this is the one that we need to work on. We verified this is the one. What is wrong with it? If I had to take a wild guess, it would be this center peg right here. This is the one that gives power to all these spider legs. And since it seems to be randomly going dim, I think it's just randomly losing contact with this center thing here. So let me just clean that up a little bit, and I think we'll give it a try. Well, I've tried cleaning it, and it's still intermittent, so we're just gonna disassemble this thing so I can get in there and clean it fully. Hate to do it, but it's gotta be done. Really hope this spider is pre-clocked. I did take a photo of it in case it's not pre-clocked and I have to manually align all of these spiders, but it looks like it's pre-clocked. Perfect. And that right there is why we're having issues. Let's clean that with our fiberglass pen and that, and we should be good. In case the issue is the pressure, give that a little bit of a bend so it's a little bit tighter against the wheel. And we can put all this back on, including our clutch here. So this should just kind of slot on here, get this lined up. Oop, I think I felt it. There we go. Clutch lined up. Then we have our pressure plate and this thing right here, our little lock nut. We want to make sure this is tight, but not too tight, because we don't want to put too much pressure to where the clutch can't disengage, but we want to make sure it's tight enough that the clutch doesn't slip. Right about there should be good. And then the locking nut on top of that to keep that from backing out. Let's see, how does it feel? Absolutely beautifully. Now that we've finished the maintenance, we can start making it look good. I'd like to see if we can't pop that out to be even, and obviously we just need to give this thing a nice bath. Unfortunately, it looks like this is effectively flush against the wood, so I think this is a separate piece. I think we might have to knock this piece off, which of course is screwed and nailed on. And then I think we might be able to pop the other piece out. Well, actually, this side is flush. This side over here that I can't really see, that board back there is spaced out. So they are attached, so I think I just need to tap that inner board in with a hammer and it should just pop this out. Well, it was somehow between this and a sludge hammer. I don't know how it would possibly be between this and a sludge hammer, but I see that gap closing up quite nicely. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. It's not perfect, obviously. It never will be perfect. They didn't even match the direction of the grain. That's kind of pathetic, but that's better at least. That I can live with. Plus, I don't know if I would really want to even completely hide this, because this is part of the story of what happened to this machine. This had to be done because this was technically an illegal gambling machine until this was done. Now that I'm looking at this, I think somebody broke it and modified it. Because almost every other one of these, well, every other one of these I have has one of these on both sides. And I was thinking this one looked kind of weird. It looks like it probably broke off at some point and somebody just ground it smooth to make it a one-handled one. Wish they did a good job of, because I didn't actually realize it till I got up close. I am kind of curious what this timer does. Whoop, something clicked. Changes something. What? I don't know. Also, we're missing our bonus coin and replays things that would be in here. That was all probably removed when it was converted from being a gambling machine. And most unfortunately, I'm missing the coin door. I don't have the coin door for this machine, which really sucks, because I'll never find a perfect match for this wood grain. This is what I mean about it used to probably have this second side over here that was broken off. This is another one that eventually I'll have to restore. This is a Sweet Shawnee, and then there's that Wild Arrow one that unfortunately has been salvaged for parts and is missing the majority of its stuff, so it's a parts machine. But this one, I think it's complete as well, so someday we'll restore this one. We're just gonna give this thing a quick scrubbing with some soapy water, just to bring that shine back. That's looking beautiful. Should probably buy some new T-trim for this. It's not in great shape. There's chunks missing out of a lot of it, so I'll probably see if I can find something that looks similar to this. I highly doubt I'm gonna find the same gold and black, but we'll find something. Looks like there used to be a placard right here that has been replaced with this quarters only. Not a huge fan of that, but it is quarters only, so we'll leave that for now. I'll probably convert it to tokens, and then we'll get rid of that, and, well, everything else in the arcade's tokens, so it doesn't really matter. Kind of sad that placard's gone, though. I don't know what that would... That honestly probably was just the casino or whatever that owned this was placard, so I guess that doesn't really matter. Just like my other ones that were converted by the company that put these amusement-only placards on them, they have plexiglass over the original glass and the original flasher units. I don't know why they did that, but I'm going to leave it. It helps protect them, so I guess I'll keep it. There is some chips in the laminate, but not a big deal for a machine that's this old. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. The only way to fix that would be to completely re-laminate it, and obviously that's not worth it on a machine like this. I'd rather keep it original. There's like a screw head sticking out right, not a screw, but the tip of the screw sticking out right here. Somebody sent a screw in too far. That sucks, but not a big deal. It's not going to catch on anything, but just annoying. There we go. That's looking about the same. I need to get a razor blade so we can take off this tape residue here and the tape residue there. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. So I'm gonna grab a razor blade, take care of that, and we should be done. We still some on the T-trim here, but it's kind of hard to get off that rubbery T-trim. So I'm gonna ignore that for now because I plan on replacing that T-trim. Got it off the plexi here, and that is looking fantastic. I would clear coat this glass underneath here, but it's currently raining, or at least it was a few minutes ago, so it's way too humid for that. So we're not gonna do that. We'll wait for that, but
This is working fantastically. There's also probably a few bulbs that are dead, but if I'm gonna remove that glass, I don't wanna put it back in until it's clear coated, so we're not gonna touch that yet. And from what I can tell, they're all, for the most part, working. All the ones in here appear to be working. There's the ones that light up here seem to all be lighting up correctly. I just think maybe there's supposed to be one or two more in here that's supposed to light up, potentially over here as well, but for the most part, they are all working, so I'm not worried about it. Guess we should make sure it's still working. Just added a bunch of credits. That's working beautifully. Not gonna win, but just keep going. I'm sure we'll win eventually. Actually found some quarters, so let's see if our coin mech works. Probably not. It does! Wow, that's a miracle. To be fair, we did oil it, so that's probably why. Perfect. It is giving 5 credits per quarter. Don't know why that is, but it is. A little bit more tape residue right here. This is why I go through a lot of razor blades. You need a perfect razor blade. If it's used to cut anything, it's trash. You get a brand new razor blade, and you can just very easily... Razor blades are actually sided. I should actually start with that. You might not know this, but razor blades are sided. If I were to cut this direction with the razor blade, it would actually dig into the wood. If I cut this direction, it glides on top of the wood. Now, the reason for this is because these are cheap razor blades, and that's how they're manufactured. But you'll have to play around depending on the razor blade. I tend to find the side that has the crimps is usually the correct side, but it'll change depending on the razor blade brand. So get a brand, test it, and usually the entire box will stay consistent, but once you get a new box, you have to retest this. But razor blades are sided. It's something that a lot of people don't realize, but they are, and that's how you're able to just cleanly take off that tape residue without damaging the wood. But there we have it. We are finished with this. This is looking absolutely beautiful. It plays beautifully. So if you want to see more, you want to see me restore other things, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.